I suppose not too long after that, you then made your first album for Beggars Banquet, which is Touch Paper.
That's right.
Which is quite a radical departure stylistically for you. Or if anyone was associated with your, or knew your early albums, it's quite a difference in style. And you work with people like Gary Newman
That's
on that
true.
record.
Gary Newman, yeah, I must have like one of the only albums that Gary ever guested on, because he was a complete recluse at the time. And again, it was only because I pulled in the favours really that I managed to get Gary on. Well, I did marry the man who started Beggars Banquet, so I did have quite a bit of power at the time to say, will you please play on my album? And Gary very gallantly offered to do it. And funnily enough, I still get messages on MySpace from his fans, and a couple of them said, oh please Claire, will you put the track up so we can download it for free just for a couple of weeks? And it all went round the fan club, and I said yeah, for sure. That was good, yeah. I think the thing was that music was developing and I wanted to go with it. I've always wanted to do exactly what I wanted to do. And because I've managed to stay on the fringe, I've been able to do that. I've never had to sing your song every single gig, like Elton John. I've never had to do any of my hits because I never had any. And it's been great. The freedom, the artistic freedom's been wonderful. So yes, I went into synthesizer music, a little bit of dance music. And it was good experience, definitely, yeah. I
suppose that album led to the Voices project, which is coming out on Esoteric in June, along with Love in the Afternoon. Now, Voices was probably the album that a lot of people in the 80s became aware of your music for the first time, really, thanks to its use on the television series about Doomsday.
That's right.
Was that used by accident? Had the album evolved first, or how did the Voices project come about in the first place?
Well, it was completely Nick, my husband's idea. He was he'd started a label within the Beggars Banquet umbrella called Coda Records, and that was an instrumental label. This is pre-Jazz FM, pre-Classic FM. Instrumental music was very difficult to sell. And he had gone to America to a trade fair and come back full of, there's this new thing in America, it's called New Age music. It's amazing, it's just a little plinky-plonk piano, and they do videos, and they just watch a fire burning in a grate. It's amazing, it's really, you've got to do one. And I said, what do you mean I've got to do one? He said, you've got to do an album, just something ethereal, really, ethereal vocals. Don't have no words. And I went, excuse me, I'm a songwriter. And he said, no, please just do it. And then it'd be great, and we'll do a New Age thing, and I'll be able to sell John Themis on the back of it and all these other people that he had on Coda. He said, we'll just market it as New Age music. And so I said, oh, okay, fine, I'll do it. This is I'm thinking, oh my God. And I went into the studio with one idea, which was Awaken Lark Rise. And I kind of had an idea that it would be, I took the concept, I'll write a concept album about the seasons, and I'll start in spring, and I'll begin with the image of the flowers opening in spring, and things awakening, things coming to life. And I sort of had a plan in my head of what I was going to do. I went into the studio, I laid up the vocals, and I used my voice as chords, and then I put my lead voice over the top as a bird over the chords, and there was a piece of equipment that I'd used earlier on Touch Paper called a Quantec, which captures a vocal and holds it infinitely. It's a sampler basically, but it holds the note infinitely, and you can just build up notes and notes and notes, and you've got this incredible fat, ethereal, strange sound. So we use that as well. But at the time that I made it, I just could not believe it. I went, nobody's gonna buy this. It's too weird. And, you know, there's no words on it. It's just too weird. It's just vocals. And, you know, I really didn't think anybody would buy it. But having said that, the engineer who recorded it went, "It's fantastic." And I went, "Really? Are you sure?" He went, "Yeah." And I swear to God, that album, it took me 6 weeks to make. It was revolutionary. I never had to try and explain anything to another musician, which was always difficult, trying to get your ideas across to somebody. It was incredible. I just had complete control, and artistic expression. It was quick. It was cathartic. It was amazing, and it completely changed my life in a way that I hadn't really. You know, it was a complete surprise. It was out of this world, really. The reaction. And had I not been the mother of 2 small children, I think probably I would have made so much of that opportunity, because the reaction was incredible. So much so that they had people writing in to the BBC. They had sackloads of records. They had so many sackloads of letters. I mean, they had so many letters that they had to mention me on Points of View at the time, because they needed to let everybody know who it was that had written the music for Doomsday. And it was incredible. But I was a mum. I was a young mum, and you know, I was very busy doing other things. And Nick was setting up a satellite TV thing. So Voices became just another part of my history, in a way.
And your follow-up album to Voices, Love in the Afternoon, was working with a full band again, with all different types of musicians. And personally, I think it's my favourite album of yours. But you've got some really fantastic songs on there. Did that album evolve over a period of time, or was it something you then decided that you were going to go out and record a new studio album in a very short space of time? Was that because obviously you were bringing up young children at the same time?
Yeah, it took longer. It did take longer to make. But I guess not that much longer, really. I had some songs. The funny thing was that I wanted to get back to songwriting. I didn't really want to make another instrumental album. But I had worked on some instrumental ideas. So I brought them into the album. I wanted to, funnily enough, because I'd moved to Hastings, I wanted to write a concept album about the Battle of Hastings. And so I did some tracks. There was one that was called The Crossing, which was about William coming over in the boats. And that was instrumental. So I put that on the album. Because I liked it. I thought it reminded me of something from the King Singers, though. It was really quite odd. It's quite an odd track. And there are some odd tracks on Love in the Afternoon that I listen to now. But then I've always done that. You know how the Arabs say, only Allah is perfect, and when they make a carpet, they always put something in it that's wrong.
Yes, yeah.
Well, I've done that with my albums. I've never made a perfect album. I think probably Voices actually is the closest I've ever come to a perfect album, to be honest. I don't think there's anything on Voices that I don't like. Apart from maybe I did use a guy singing something about Auf das moosige Ufer. I've forgotten what it is now. Something lie down on the mossy bank in German, and I don't really think that. Maybe now I should have had that bit on, but no, all my albums are flawed in some way. There's always one, but I love Love in the Afternoon, and it has my favourite song on it, which is Trees. I think it's beautiful, and Glastonbury as well. I love that one.
These are songs that you still play live today.
I do, yeah.